Vector victory. I don't know if my vector is for victory today, though, guys. My opponent went crazy. Full cleared me for 2,062 banners. I think, is that right? Look at this. This is what I'm up against. 2,062 banner clear. Yikes. That's going to be an interesting challenge to try to overcome. Alrighty then. What do I have to do for matches here? I feel like this DRQ person fights me back. I don't think it's their payout window, but I think they play during this time slot, so we'll try to creep up on our fleet placement here. We'll go to 6, and then here in a few minutes after we scout GAC, we'll try to get placement in the top 5. Do the mirror match first here real quick. Start throwing all the ammunition at this Razor Crest. Man, my Xanadu Blood hates doing that extra attack. He'd be like, extra attack? Nar. Alright, here we go. We're going to lose our Xanadu Blood. It's got the taunt marker on it, so just a short matter of time. I'm going to not use my... Oh, well, looks like we get to heal up before that goes wrong. I'm not going to use my death mark yet. I tend to save, in these matchups, I tend to save my death mark waiting for them to bring in their Houndstooth, so that if they bring in their Houndstooth, I can very quickly and effectively dispatch the fiend. Alright. Get a stun over here. And then this should be a very quick end to the battle. When you get that, when you get the coin flip and you get to go first, it feels pretty easy most times. Defeat enemy with droids. Nice. The IG-2K counts as a droid. I am intrigued by that. Ships. Does it actually have, it actually has the droid tag on the ship? I don't know that that's ever been relevant till now, but okay. Hey, look, you can complete quests in fleet as well. Fantastic. There's a new Netflix documentary with a chemical engineer confirming what you said a long time ago on stream about plastic. Nice. So there's a concerted effort now to just make plastic illegal. That's good. I hope, if that's what you're talking about, I hope it's successful. Man, I don't even know why companies are allowed to produce plastic. It will be good if that's the case. All right, look, we're at 11 already with this pass. 11 out of 50 on our second Galactic Challenge. So we'll complete this 11 times 4. 4 weeks, we'll be at 44. So we have to do a little bit better than we're doing now to get everything. But we're not through the first full week yet. So maybe I'll get like 13 or 14 in my first week. This has helped me a lot with Huyang, right? We're at 49 out of 85 shards with Huyang already. I had to buy, I think, like 2 packs. We got some free shards with the pass, and then we did the event and got some free shards. And then I think I got like a lucky 15 or something like that on one of my crystal pack pulls, and I got him up to 5 stars pretty early on in the event. So we're working on the 6-star on Huyang already. The 20 free shards from the past was really a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. It really unlocked the potential of the Marquis. Or something. It's called Buy Now, the Shopping Conspiracy. What was the stuff you said should replace plastic? So one thing is cellulose, right? A lot of stuff that we buy that's made out of plastic could instead be made out of cellulose. Cellulose is wood. It's wood fibers. It's biodegradable. Plastic containers, a lot of the stuff that we use plastic for like food. If you go to China, for example, and you buy a hamburger, it's in what they call a molded pulp package. So molded pulp is where you take recycled paper. If you want to make paper out of recycled paper, every time you recycle it, the fibers get shorter and shorter in the paper, and it has less and less integrity. So manufacturers in the US, they want nice, strong printed materials of thin cardboard or paper material. So they need those fibers to be long and strong, and they're only willing to put like 10% recycled content into production because otherwise you can't make a shiny printed box from McDonald's. In China, they don't care, for example. They just take recycled paper with short fibers and they mush it up into pulp, and they do molded pulp packaging, and you get your hamburger in a molded pulp box. And again, it's wood fibers, it's biodegradable. If you use paper, see, people say, oh, you're killing trees. You shouldn't use paper. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that because you're killing trees. There's no better thing that you can do for controlling carbon in the atmosphere than cutting down existing trees. Don't burn it. If you burn it, you put the carbon dioxide back into the air. But if you make use of those wood fibers and bury them in the ground and plant a new tree, the new tree is taking carbon dioxide out of the air. The wood that you take has the carbon fixed as the material. So using wood products and replanting the trees is good for the environment. But we have to accept lower quality packaging. The third thing for plastic bottles, like water bottles and things like that, there's this cool business that I saw that's using seaweed. They're making a plastic replacement out of seaweed, and I don't think it's to the point where it's commercially viable. I think it's too expensive still. But if plastic were not legal to make, then alternatives like this, nobody would care if they're cheaper than plastic because they're a completely viable alternative. And you can make, what's the word? I don't think it's carrageenan. I think that's the stuff that you get out of seaweed that you make food out of. Thickening agent. Anyway, so basically converted seaweed or potentially algae gets converted into this plastic-like material, can be used for wraps or plastic bottles. It doesn't have the same rigidity, so your plastic bottles would be kind of squishy. But yeah, there's materials that are completely biodegradable that could replace plastic. And then the only thing that it would be legal to make things out of plastic are durable goods. You could still make like some chairs and computer screens and things like that out of plastic, and people would eventually throw them away, but they have a long enough timeline that they're not as dangerous as plastic silverware, straws, plates, glasses, cups, things like that get thrown away after a single use. So the single-use items is what we really got to get rid of. Man, I'm on the soapbox. I could talk about this stuff for hours. I feel passionate about that. So like this plastic cup, I don't feel bad about drinking out of the plastic cup. But like when I get a package of something that contains a straw, I don't want to ever take this straw out of the package because I know that once I use the straw, it's just going to get thrown away. So I don't use it and throw it away, and I drink the drink with the metal straws that I have that are cleanable, or just drink it straight out of the cup. So I don't know, just if I don't drink out of 120 straws, it's not going to save the environment. But I feel guilty about it, and I think that's what I would hope, that eventually people would just sort of feel guilty about throwing away all kinds of plastic. Anyway, I don't know. I think until the government takes a stand and makes it illegal, it's never going to be under control. People just want cheap products. They want the best high quality thing that they can get for cheap. I'm going to check out that documentary. I'm going to be interested in seeing that. Thanks for bringing it up. The shopping conspiracy. I'm going to have to watch that. Storm Pooper says that all sounds awesome. Eventually we'll have no choice, I think. Even if it's not illegal, it will become so obvious. This is one of those things, and I've said this before, when we look back at this with the perspective of history, that is assuming that we create AI and we manage to survive through that. When we look through the lens of history at the actions of the people who came to settle the Americas and just were so disrespectful to the indigenous people, eliminating them, pushing them off their land, and just taking over. When we look at that from the perspective of history, it really feels like we should have done something differently. Now, we can make all the excuses we want. We can't change what happened. But with the perspective of history, it feels really dumb. When we look at making slavery legal, part of the reason why a bunch of people came to America, they wanted to have slaves, but the rest of the world was already making that illegal or immoral or not right. The rest of the world was saying it's not right to own people. And so people that wanted to own people moved to the New World. And we look back at that now and we go, man, that's not a good chapter of our history. Something different should have been done. You can't change what we did, but with the perspective of history, it really feels like, something that was regrettable. And I think plastic's going to be the same thing. Fracking is going to be the same thing. Fracking natural gas, deep within the earth, there's layers of rock that are held firm with pressurized gas. We're drilling down to that, relieving the pressure, and pumping it full of water. So these layers of shale are being lubricated instead of being held together. And 200 years from now, there's going to be entire sections of our country that just slide into the ground. It's already causing sinkholes as that shale moves and that water gets squeezed back to the surface. That volume has to be filled somehow. And it'll be filled by the earth from above being, compacted and brought back down to a lower level to fill those gaps. So as the water squeezes out, sinkholes will be created. And we'll look back on this and we'll go, why? Why did we do that? Boy, that was dumb. We were greedy. We destroyed our country, made sinkholes everywhere just for cheap energy. So I don't know. There's concerted efforts out there. There's people trying to motivate legislation, but people just don't care. They just don't care. And no matter what people are saying, we can't seem to bring the American public to any kind of consensus that allows us to deal with these things that we know. We know with the perspective of history, it's going to look really stupid. Yep. Fracking is also a huge waste of water. Luckily, in the United States, water is a resource that's quickly regenerated, right? Plenty of rainfall. We can capture water. Some of the water that they cycle in and out of fracking can be treated. The contaminants can be removed. So in terms of the water treatment, we can kind of manage the problem, and it doesn't, I know what you're saying. It really does use a lot of water in the process. That can be managed, but we shouldn't be doing the process. We should not be doing the process. The current prison system will be another thing we look back on. Like, what the hell were we doing? That's a different social thing, though. And I'm not willing to engage on the ethical side of the prison thing, because our whole society needs to learn some level of tolerance for things that are different than we are. But there has to come a moment where there's behaviors that you don't tolerate. So if somebody's just going to use physical force to beat people up and take stuff that's not theirs, that's not something we can tolerate. And when people demonstrate their willingness to do that, something has to be done to separate those from the people who, let's say, don't do those things. So I don't know the right answer. And I don't know that incarceration is necessarily wrong. I guess you're saying the way that we're doing it. But there has to be consequences. People can't, we have to tolerate more things in the middle, I think, like different religions and different shapes and sizes and colors and all that stuff. We have to respect those things. But there comes a line where there's things that we shouldn't tolerate. We can't tolerate people killing people, you know. And then what do you do in those circumstances? I'm qualified to talk on the engineering subjects, on things that I'm comfortable, that I have knowledge and skill with, but I'm not so comfortable talking about like the ethical and moral stuff, because I don't really have a leg to stand on to say that I'm qualified for that. There's the issue why nothing gets done. I made a statement regarding waste and water, but you found a way to justify them. Not being malicious or anything, just showing the evidence of your statement why it's hard to get the public to reach a consensus. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right. And it's not necessarily that I'm justifying it. Again, let's say there's science and fact. So it's a fact that the water that's being used can be reclaimed or purified. It's a fact that water is not a scarcity yet in the United States. So those are facts, and they can be used to justify certain behaviors. But again, the behavior itself, the industry, is what has to be made illegal. And if that drives the cost of energy up, it just has to drive the cost of energy up. And we should do the right thing and pay for it in the right way. I mean, it makes things a little bit more expensive, but it should make things a little bit more expensive. Being able to purchase things for the lowest possible cost is not the answer. Being able to purchase things for the right cost in a way that's sustainable has to be the goal. But you're right. I mean, you're right that the idea of justification, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, it's easy to justify things, and therefore it's easy to say, well, we don't have to change. There's a saying that I attribute to the first time I ever heard it was from a lady named Linda Tupin. She was a Mary Kay district manager. I don't know the titles. I'm probably not doing her justice. But the saying goes like this: people will remain the same until the pain of change is less than the pain of remaining the same. So even like the game changed, right? New things came to the game and a bunch of people quit. They just said, I'm not going to play the game this way. This is a paywall. I don't like it. I'm quitting the game. So change, just a little bit of change in our game was enough to make people mad and quit and leave. So change comes with pain. And I love the saying so much because it is so true. Until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. And when that happens, we're going to take the route that's less painful. So we'll change because staying the same becomes too painful. And that's why I think until the legal system increases that pain to a level where people just absolutely cannot tolerate it, we're not just willingly going to do something different. It's too painful. So we won't do it. And you're right, we'll use whatever facts we need to justify. So, unfortunate circumstances of behavior. All right, this is a loss. We're not getting through this one. Might as well just quit. Save some time. Storm Pooper says, right, I'm talking more about private prison and non-violent offenders. Yeah, I wish I was more qualified to discuss that stuff, but I haven't really researched it, and I don't really know much about what's going on. Well, why not? Says, I enjoy these conversations. A person who doesn't get all gung-ho when I make an opposing point of view. Yeah, I mean, so I'll just express my tolerance for this as well, in hopes of maybe inspiring people to think about it this way. So when I first started this channel, I actually struggled with it, and I realized that I had to make a definition for myself of how I was going to handle things in my community. And I made this distinction for myself between arguments and debate. And so the idea of debate, you can have your opinion, I can have mine, whether we agree or not. If we can tolerate each other's opinions and discuss it and influence each other, and then at the end of the day, nobody has to be right or wrong, and then we could just go have a beer together or something, that's debate. The Greeks sort of quantified this as a skill for the enlightened to be able to debate things and not devolve into argument. An argument is where one or the other person insists on being right, where there has to be a right and wrong answer. So your truth can be right for you, but if you're willing to debate with me, we can influence each other, and then at the end of it, one of us doesn't have to be right. So I think if more people would just let go of that idea of, I have to be right, I have to make you take my opinion, then we could all have more of these discussions and not be angry or, vengeful or vindictive. We would just say, oh, okay, well, you have a different point of view. I'm never going to agree with you, but okay, you've been heard, and now we can go our separate ways. So, I don't know. That's what I try to practice. I'm not perfect at it, but but I do try. DL, have you ever ran for local politics? I haven't. I have a certain tolerance for, let's say, public disdain, but unfortunately, it does get to me. I've had instances before where people have been very negative, and some people can just read those comments and turn it off, and sometimes those comments really get to me. And I don't know, I don't want to be a public figure. I don't know if I have the resilience to do it. I think I could have the wisdom and skill set to do it, but I don't think I have the resilience to take public judgment of every decision I make and maintain my confidence. I think I would let it get to me. So I don't know. I've thought about it before, but I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, I've never lived in one place for long enough. My average tenure in any given place has only been, let's say 4 years. I moved around a lot for my career. Here in Dallas, Texas, is the first place I've stayed for a long time. I've been here since 2016. So what are we talking? 8 years now in the same place. So that's it's probably the longest I've been in one place for a while. All right, we should probably do some Grand Arena scouting. Let's scout out Egnard. Take a look at this. 10.05 million galactic power, so not a monster. Pretty much at our same level. 4-1 in ships, 5-8 in characters. Galactic War Battles won 12,462. If we look at Loquitur, 17,620. So this account is quite a bit younger than Loquitur, with similar galactic power. So this player, Egnard, has invested in the game and accelerated his galactic power, but he's done a great job. He or she or they or whatever have done a great job building the account. We've got Leviathan, Profundity, Executor are all done. Ships are in good shape. 7 out of 8 of the Galactic Legends, just like a lot of people, missing only that Lord Vader. Got all the current stuff. Revens, Malik, all that old stuff is in the house. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is in here. Gungans are done. Gungans aren't done. But Queen Amidala is in the house. No Bo-Katan yet. Looks like he might be working on Bo-Katan. But yeah, it's an interesting account. It's like I said, it's what I would call an accelerated account, but really well built. Well done. Attention has been paid to modding. Cat is 363. If we go down here to a couple layers lower, 290, we still got characters that are pretty fast. So yeah, nice account. If my opponent watches this, good job, well done, paying attention to Datacrons, building the right stuff, and a heck of a player. Cleared out my defense without dropping a single battle, which honestly I find pretty amazing. So I got some pretty decent defenses down here, some pretty good Datacrons, and to get through my whole defense without a single stumble, that's impressive to me. So well done to my opponent. Good job. Good GAC. I'm still going to try to win, but I don't know if I can manage it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to try to go for some really high banner, high value wins wherever we can, and try to, maybe even use some single character teams on the back wall, some things like that to try to maximize banners. So it's a different kind of challenge than we've had to fight recently, but yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Now, if I get casual and try to get good banners on some of these teams on this front wall here, he might still have Galactic Legends on the back wall. It might be a trick defense. So, and he might have really good ship defense that we'll struggle with. Not having the Leviathan is really causing me problems in GAC right now. And it's all around the Punishing One. The change that the Punishing One brings to the game changes the fleet dynamic so much that not having Leviathan is now crippling. We also have Queen Amidala up here. Luckily with no Datacrons, so maybe we can do that with a Bane and try to get a clean win there. That would leave JMK free to do Rey and try to get high banners on the Rey battle. And then we'll see what else we need to do on the back wall. Let's do that battle first. And again, if we get any battles that we drop or have really low banners on, it's probably going to cost us, the GAC in one go. So what I'm going to tell myself right here at first, I'm going to kind of psych myself up for it, right? So here we go. Here's the deal, Loquitur. We have to have high banners, but don't do stupid stuff and drop battles. Drop a battle, we lose, right? So we have to go for high banners, but we're not going to do it in a way where we give up the ability to win the battle. So winning is the first priority. High banners is the second priority. All right. So let's get through this battle. Free up the JMK to do the Rey with high banners. And then we'll start sorting through what we're going to do with the rest of our resources. Yeah, so he's gone for all-out offense, which is, you know, it's a risk, but obviously he's got things very well thought out, and he knows what he's doing, because he he wrecked me with his offense. So, good strategy. I love it when I'm fighting an opponent that has built a good account, has a good strategy, and plays well. That feels like what we would call a fair fight, right? So, like it. What do we have in third place? Another Leviathan. It's a 6-star Leviathan instead. Let's base it on this. 7. Has he over-leveled? 5. Okay. Yeah. So we'll try to take on, yeah, I don't know. Let's try to take on the 6-star Leviathan. That's Axon, isn't it? Krakos. Okay. All right, so we'll take on the 6-star Leviathan, hoping to get some kind of advantage from not having a 7-star Leviathan here. All right, let's drop the bomb. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Not the best opening salvo there. We barely got the protection off the tank. This has been reliable for me. I've had good success getting this battle done, but I think my success with it on stream has been much less than my success with it overall. Okay, we got him down to a sliver of life there, but we didn't punch him through his first instance. Now, at least we've killed him once. But, yeah, we've already got the first reinforcement coming in. We're about to lose our ship. I think here we've got to bring in the IG-2K for damage. There are times where I prefer to bring in the Slave 1. Okay. Well, what just happened there? IG-2K did not do a second attack. What's preventing us? What's going on, game? I don't know. Something going on that I don't understand. Why don't I get my second attack? There it is. While you're facing Egnards, watch for his Relic 9 Gungans. It's not Egnard's the content creator then. Well, maybe it's an alt account for that same player. So if you guys know of a person named Egnards who's good at playing the game, this could very well be an alt account for that player, because this is a well-built account and well-played. To the extent that I would say, if this is not a content creator, certainly could be. Yeah. He won't attack again when dazed. He wasn't dazed, though. He wasn't dazed and he didn't have shock on, or I didn't see it. Maybe he did and I just didn't see it, but... Okay, now let's just keep getting this stuff out of here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we're about to lose our capital ship. Oh, we didn't. He didn't take it. I think he's gotten off the ability, though, where... Yeah, now we lose the capital ship. No? We already lost it and I wasn't paying attention? Could be. Anyway, we're struggling now. Yeah, we've already lost our capital ship. Okay, I just wasn't paying attention during the animation. It's probably also why I didn't see the days. All right, this is also going to be a loss. Dang. Not good success rate here today. All right, well, let's get back to the GAC. Oh, is that the math guy from Reddit, Egnard the streamer? I think sounds like a Dark Soul boss. DL, love your videos, especially the mod guides. Ah, cool. Thanks, Daniel Salazar. Appreciate the feedback. Doesn't P1 prevent assists upon itself like Darth Revan. He won't attack again when dazed. Ilya says, I can't replicate your Leviathan counter. I don't have time to bring in a second reinforcement. If you don't kill the enemy tank ship fast enough, that's the issue. So if you kill that extinction bomber quickly enough, you'll get your second reinforcement. But in that battle, I didn't kill it quickly enough. I didn't get my second reinforcement. And when that happens, you don't win the battle. So, yeah, that really is the difference. You really got to be able to get that ship out quickly enough. That's the make or break on that battle, is just how fast you can get rid of the enemy tank. The way I play it. Some people have said that they have success with that, killing the Dorito. Just getting rid of the taunt on the extinction bomber and killing the Dorito. But I've not had success killing the Dorito like that. Mark 6 belongs to Profundity now. FYI, when you're in the Datacrons screen for a fight, the drop-down menu on the right has an option to sort by applicable bonus mechanics. That's pretty nice. Okay. Let's go take a look at that. So you're saying if we go in here and we pick some straight stone cold killers to come and take care of this Ray. We go to Datacrons. The menu on the right, the drop down menu has the ability to say applicable bonus mechanics. Okay. Oh, so you can sort it just by things that have light side bonus, for example. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. We're probably going to take this Luthenacron. Light side allies gain 15% turn meter, armor penetration, bunch of crit damage, all that stuff. Seems good. I don't really feel like the Jedi stun is a good use here because, you know, you got Kenobi and Kenobi. But the stuns really aren't that relevant. We're going to kill the BB-8 very quickly. And I don't think the stun's that big of a deal on Ben. So we're going to take it this way and try to get it done. Okay. I'm going to put this on Ray. We're going to do the short, I guess the long way you'd call it. Refresh. Then pass over the insta-kill. We got to wait for BB-8 to take a turn anyway. And now we can yeet it out of here. Going on Ray, we want to pop the, well, you know what? We're going to switch to Ben. If she does Lifeblood again, she will put herself into the yellow. So we'll hope for her to Lifeblood. All right, his damage immunity is done. Oh boy, this is going to be... We're going to... Okay, so if we wait on the alt, Kenobi, little Kenobi over here, is going to die, but he's going to use the savior effect. We're going to save our alt for after her alt. Okay. Now we do the alt so we can heal up our characters. survive that whirlwind. Working as intended, y'all. Kylo goes away. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Losing our tank is not good, y'all. It's bad. It's bad. These whirlwinds. This ray has the ability to whirlwind at will. All right. That should get it. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. If this glitches, it's over for the GAC. Okay. 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 Heart attack on a stick, Loquitur. What is wrong with my game? Good Lord. I find that I don't have enough offensive teams in 3v3. Last several teams I've started putting together weird stuff like Darth Vader plus Dooku plus Talon or something. It was like that for me for a long time. And what I did was I kept what I felt like was enough on offense, and I had a lighter defense. But in fights where I would maybe drop a couple battles, I would quickly run out of teams. So it felt the same way. Like if I had to two-shot a couple things, then I would run out of teams on the back wall. So I have felt that myself. Well, guys, it looks like something's gone horribly wrong. So I'm going to try again, relaunch the game, and hope that that took, you know? Hope that it recorded that victory. If I go back in and the Ray team is still alive and we drop that battle, then the GAC is over. I don't mind losing if I lose, but I really hate losing if it's just an electronic glitch. Okay. Ray's down. We got banners for it. Let's go. Let's try one more time for this fleet battle. And let's see if we can punch through one of these tanks, make it work, and make this team look respectable. Let's see. Or maybe they made another change to the Dorito that I'm not aware. Oh my God, look at that. We did nothing. We did nothing to this tank. No crits, no second hit out of Xanadu blood. It's just all bad. That first salvo just puts us on loss. That's pretty frustrating. Okay. Well, let's get in here and try to... Not enough. When we don't get the kill on that first salvo, when we're in a position like this and we're not ready to kill the tank and the first reinforcement's already in, it just feels so doomed. All right, we'll do this. I'm going to mark and kill the Sith fighter. And then we will have our death mark ready and put it on the tank and finish the tank. Actually, Never mind. We'll have ability blocks, so we can't use the ability. Everybody's dazed, so we won't be able to get an assist. The bombs are on. I don't think we'll get our second reinforcement here, but I'm going to call it. Yeah, we don't get it. We are done. Man. That has been pretty reliable for me. I've gotten a lot of wins, a lot of fleet placement out of this, but it doesn't seem like I can duplicate it on stream. That's pretty awful. Well, complete all other fulcrum achievements. I don't even know where I'm getting some of these. All right, get back into GAC here. Okay, let's go Qui-Gon Jinn. I'm tempted to just SLKR this thing. We've still got Sith Eternal. If he's got Leia on the back wall, we really have to have SLKR to get through it. So, what's our most reliable way to beat this? I mean, the most reliable way to beat this is to use a Galactic Legend, right? But then it's kind of the same thing for these Inquisitors. Got to take some chances. If he's got a Galactic Legend on the back wall, we're basically going to throw away our resources and not be prepared for it. But it's fine, right? We got to take some risks here. So use up 2 Galactic Legends here. So we're going to Sith Eternal right here. I think we're going to use the tank and Wat Tambor. And sort by relevant mechanics. I'll try to use that. See if it helps. 15% turn meter. Defeat tank gets revived. We'll take that. Try to preserve our banners just a little bit. If they kill the tank, it'll come back. Save a banner for us. Okay. All right, here we go. Try to get this Grand Inquisitor under control a little bit. All right, here comes that first tank kill. Brings him back to life. Instantly gets rid of the taunt. Why not? Oh, wow. Tank down again. Okay, though, we're wasting some time here. That's what counts. Wow, they're going to kill my Sith Eternal. We've got locked damage immunity. This is over. I have lost the combat. Yep. That's it. GAC over. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Okay. I don't, honestly, it's not worth playing it out. I kind of, oh, I'm going to practice anyway. So let's practice trying to kill this with some Jedi then, see if we can get through it. What kind of Jedi would be good here? Shock T. Maybe take Ahsoka in here for the extra assists. Take the Shock T Okran. See if we can get through it with this. Inquisitors are good at killing Jedi, so maybe this doesn't work either. Man, that locked. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Crazy. Done. Yep. Stops my whole team. Too good, too good, too good. Immune to stun. Whenever a dark side ally gains 15% turn meter, unaligned force user critically hits, dispel all debuffs. All right. I've used Revan, Malik, and Bastila. Revan, Malik, and Bastila with great success. Revan, Malik, and Bastila. Oh, so the old school Darth Revan, Malik, and Bastila Fallen. Where does that initial hit go? If they get the initial hit off on your, like Bastila Fallen or your Darth Revan, doesn't that Malik prevents the triple revives? No, I can see where the team would work. I'm just asking at that first hit, that very first hit of the combat, where he comes in and he does ridiculous amounts of damage to one of your characters. Does that happen against Malik with reliability, or if it targets Bastila? So that's what I'm thinking, is it's just like game over if that targets Bastila. We're going to replace this. What's a good defensive team that we can put down that's scary AF, that would inspire people to want to use a Galactic Legend to beat it? Do we have something in threes that's good enough? You know, we'd give up a little bit of offensive power, but we could put this Sith team on defense. There's not a lot of easy answers to this team. It takes something pretty good to beat it. Health, steal, protection, crit chance. Mercenary. There's not something that I have to reliably use the Sith Triumvirate for every time on offense. Is there? I don't feel like the Sith Triumvirate is an answer to something for me on offense. So let's put this on defense just for a couple rounds of GAC. Well, never mind. This is it, right? All we've got is tomorrow, and 3v3 is over until the next season. So, okay, fine. But let's do a back wall team and put the Inquisitors on the back wall with the best of the best. And we'll put this Datacron. This has the unaligned force user one. This is the one I'm going to try to make into a cron for the Inquisitors. So we'll put that with them for now. And we'll make that the team that's the back wall surprise. Try to get them to use up all their Galactic Legends on the front wall. If you guys saw this on defense, would it be pretty scary? We got the Radis team with the Datacron. We've got the Sith, the Gungans, Queen Amidala. Jabba? Jabba's not scary on defense anymore. Is it? Jabba's just kind of a free win. But it uses up... I guess it only uses up Night Sisters, really. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have some pretty good defenses down. Decent, respectable. You know what I'm going to try, though? Just for the fun of it. Let's throw our Bo-Katan team up against this. And see if somehow the Mandalorians have what it takes to get this done. And we're going to put Beskar in there in the hopes that we can get off the missiles and kill the Grand Inquisitor behind the tank. Let's see. Health, evasion. Do we have some offense or something? I don't think there's any of these sets that just have straight offense, right? Potency, crit chance, evasion, health steal, potency, crit damage. Let's take this one. And let's see how badly this goes. And then we also have the remnant that we can give a try to. Okay. Okay, we lost our turn meter on IG 12. Yeah, let's just go straight into Whistling Birds and see if we can somehow manage it. Nope, we never even got a turn. So maybe we have enough missiles to kill... No, not even close. Not even close. Let's try this for a second. Hold off on some damage. I think we need to do the armor shred. And we'll try to get a second kill here. Okay. As soon as this damage immunity wears off, he's going to probably go down fast, but... Alright, in we go. Beautiful. Okay. And we can put up more damage immunity for a second. Try Whistling Birds again. That was a nice hit on the Grand Inquisitor. And... Okay. Bo-Katan Mandalore, ladies and gents. Maybe an option for the future. Something we can look at anyway. It's a little bit it's a little bit inaccurate because we had submitted on prior, so we didn't start out with all the good skills on cooldown, or let's say off cooldown. So I don't know for sure that that's going to work, but it's a cleanup team, right? JQ says for me, Jabba is SLKR. JQ says in the matchup that he's talking about that the death mark prevents triple revives. Malik took the brunt of the impact. Third Sister had the Maracron, not the Grand Inquisitor one. I've been using Trey Annihilus Scion versus Gungans in 3s. I've been using, I'll use Bo-Katan now. She'll be my Gungan killer. Isolate the tank, basics on the generator, Nihilus Yeets, Jar Jar, and then hit auto. Jabba's the SLKR sync. Yeah, let's... We're going to try something here. We'll go with First Order. I think I still have a tank revive, dark side tank revive somewhere in here. Nope, doesn't look like, oh yeah, here we go. Dark side tank revive. So we're just going to go in with 2 characters, dark side tank revive, and we're going to kill all these Jedi. We'll get to the back wall, and then we will see from there what can be done. I'm just curious to see what he put as a defense on the back wall. When I'm playing against a player like this that's this good, it's interesting for me to see what's on the back wall. I'm betting that he has a Galactic Legend on the back wall. I'm going to bet that this is a trap defense where he's legitimately trying to use up some good teams on the front wall and then trap people on the back wall. If that's not the case, we'll find out here shortly. Have just a little bit of fun trying. Light side mechanics. Look at this. We're out of light side mechanics. That's funny. All right. So here we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Make sure that we have no problem with buffs on Droideka. I guess I could have thrown the grenade right there. Okay. Stun? No stun. Come on. Steal a banner. Dirty, dirty Droideka. Probably Iden on the back wall too, so if we use Wampa here, then we're susceptible to a back wall Iden Versio. So I'm guessing based on his defense that he's going to have a Galactic Legend, Leia, and Iden on the back wall. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. His defense seems well set up so that if that's the case, most opponents would have problems against that back wall. All right, let's go. There's the Iden. We called that correctly, but no Galactic Legend. Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's go in and take a look at the Lex Talionis project then. See what our chances are for a win over there. I haven't even scouted the Lex project yet, so I don't know if this is going to be good, bad, or ugly. If it's typical, I'm probably going to go in and see a 6.8 million Galactic Power account and and be sad. If you guys really want to see me work through the rest of the Loquitur battle, I will, but knowing that I've lost the Grand Arena makes it so that, like, I don't know, I don't feel the need to go through. I guess I could go through and practice on ships, but doesn't feel all that rewarding to me. Let's claim the free energy here. Burn that off. All right. have to farm up some of these. Okay, we can buy them, so I don't need to farm those anymore. Let's see, where's these? 48 of those, good. What else? We got to look at look at that. Somebody had asked me a question. So for games that are for accounts that are in the mid game, you can get to a point where you're buying stuff out of the shops in a way that you don't really need to farm fleet stuff every day to keep your relic cycle going. So what I've done, I still, on my Loquitur account, I still spend fleet refreshes every day, even though I don't need like the Gear 13 stuff for making relic materials. I still farm this every day in fleet. I use all my fleet energy, my refreshes, to farm the Mark 12 furnace salvage, and I use that to make all my year to keypads. So then I don't have to buy those with my Mark 3 currency. I can free that up, and that way, you know, impulse detectors and bittle cards and electrium conductors are what I buy with that currency. So if anybody's in that position where you don't really have to use your fleet energy for anything and you've just kind of stopped doing those refreshes to save yourself some crystals, it is efficient to do the 50 cost refreshes to get materials to make keypads. And with this event going on, I'm getting like 50 of them a day. So that's like 4 keypads a day with 6 refreshes. So that's pretty fantastic. Sourface says, we just see the lightsaber. Oh, I restarted. Okay, we got to do the Lex. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so what I was saying is for players who have reached the mid-game, this is a good item to farm. Farm that with your fleet energy. If you don't have another use for your fleet energy, if you're not doing your fleet refreshes, farm that to make the gear to keypads. Jar Jar says, what node have the lightsaber? Yeah, so this node, the Mark 12 furnaces. Yep, so that's an efficient farm for 50 crystals. And I mean, you'll get only a few of these and it'll seem like it'll take forever to make enough keypads. But if you do it all the time, it adds up. And on my Loquitur account, I don't have to buy those keypads for the amount of Relic 9s that I've built. I think I've got like 60 in the bank right now, just stacked up from farming that way. So it's something you can try if you don't have another use for that energy. We can go back to 7B, I suppose, here. Get some more. Okay, let's take a look at the Grand Arena for Lex Talionis. Opponent, Vatolipa. That's a pretty cool name. I like that. Finland. I wonder if they're from Finland. Cool. 7 million Galactic Power, 3 in ships and 4 in characters. Galactic War Battles 1, 19,400. So almost 5 years, 4.5 years old on the account. Oof. Yeah, 4.5 years old and no big capital ship. If my opponent does watch this, Executor or Profundity would help a lot. Get fleet placement, get those fleet crystals. Whenever I see an account like this, I just automatically think they're just They're just collectors. They're having fun with Star Wars. They're not going to take my advice. Doesn't really matter. SLKR in the account at Gear 11. Interesting. Is it all Kairos? I bet this player just needs all Kairos for SLKR. But yeah, that'll definitely be worth getting up and running. Star Killers in the house. Revens. Just having fun collecting some Star Wars stuff here. General Skywalker, 317. Speed, crit chance, protection. Yeah, you want to get protection here if you can too on those other two mods. Mara Jade, pretty fast character, 310. Alright, so we should have a speed advantage. It all depends on what he put on defense. If he threw down that Galactic Legend on defense, we're done. Darth Revan with Malik on defense. We got one shot to beat this, guys. One chance to beat this. So this is going to be another one fight Grand Arena. This will either work or it won't. So the reason it works, when they try to kill Mace or Jedi Knight Anakin first, we can then do the big overhead smash and kill the enemy team all in one hit when they kill Qui-Gon. If they go right in on Qui-Gon, which Darth Revan will do because he's programmed to target the enemy leader if he can. So if he targets the enemy leader, kills Qui-Gon in one hit, and they've cooled down Anakin's skills, then Anakin gets a free turn with nothing but the basic, and then we lose. So that's how this battle goes. If they attack Qui-Gon, we lose. If they attack somebody else, yeah. See, it's just over in one hit. We can do the big smash now, but we don't get the bonus from Qui-Gon getting killed. So we can't do it. So let's attack in on Bastila. Hope that somehow we can... Yep, that's it. Not enough. Okay. Well, let's do dash on Chewie here. Team usually has enough damage to get through. We'll try to take out the Sith Trooper. Nice. Do the area of effect stuff. Get rid of the taunt. Blast Phasma. And then we got to rely on dash to do some good damage here. You can't do the CLS version of this team because Luke himself gives so much health and protection back to Kylo Ren unmasked that you pretty much can't kill him. So do the dash version of the team, not the CLS version of the team. Speaking of CLS, let's throw it. Let's throw it in here. And see what we can do. We've got an unaligned forced user Datacron. Sure, we'll just go in here. We've got buff immunity on, so that's going to be inconvenient. Nice. Can't get assists on Revan. Oh, Luke got drained. But look at that unaligned force user stuff kicking in. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, we're saved for a second anyway. Ah, nice big hit on Revan. Is there any team that we have that has any chance of beating this Malik. We don't have an insta-kill on the squad yet. We don't have a Nihilus or a Mando built. So we have to do this just with straight damage. If we were to bring in bounty hunters, percent damage doesn't help. Boss gets drained and killed pretty quickly. Troopers aren't going to get the job done because they're going to get feared all the time. What about Wampa? Wampa's going to get drained, but if we can somehow have our bonus protection up every time he goes to drain us, we could, in theory, get lucky enough to kill him. So let's try a Wampa, and let's try to manage our purple protection and just ramp damage until we can kill. Okay, there's the first of many. He just gets 2 in a row, and our Wampa didn't even get to go. We never took a turn with Wampa, and he got like 6 turns with him. Yeah, I don't think we have anything at all that can beat that. Yeah. We can practice our 5-0 first against this Grievous team just for funsies. So let's do that. Datacrons do not apply. All right, and the gimmick here, we'll get a sacrifice, and then the other 2 clones have to do amazing things. Stun some droids. Let's go. Nice. Okay. No sacrifice, huh? Get some turn meter. And again, we want turn meter because we want to take a lot of clone turns. Getting the aerial advantage off is reliant on taking enough clone turns that it matters. Okay. Get him out of here. And now we got to get back around to another turn with aerial advantage. Form up. The speed on these clones is now around 500. All right, that's fun. Stun. Gnar. All right. Okay, so there's the clone bomb team in action, beating a full relic Grievous team. And Malik just stands tall and there's nothing we can do. I don't think we can beat this team either, can we? Yeah, we got nothing that's going to beat Padme either. Not a Padme team with a Relic 8 Anakin. Done. Defeated. The opponent hasn't played yet, though. So, I mean, it doesn't mean we lose automatically just because we can't clear. The opponent may not even play. We'll take free wins where we can get them. A lot of accounts that are like this, 6 million, 7 million, Galactic Power, down in Bronzium, they just don't play. So maybe our opponent's like that. We won't write it off as a loss quite yet. JQ says those suckers make up 99% of the gear that I need to get relics. Bosk and Mandalorian versus Malik. The issue is that I don't have the Mandalorian built on this account yet. I've started to collect. I've collected shards for him. So I've collected shards for the Mandalorian. There he is. So we've got enough shards to activate him and get the character started. We just haven't done it yet. So maybe in next Monday's update, maybe it's time to bring that Mandalorian to life and get an insta-kill somewhere in our team. Do we have Nihilus on this account at all? So it would be a matter if we got free shards from somewhere, because I haven't specifically farmed him. He's on a node with something good, right? Or at least he was. And he's just on a node by himself now. Or maybe I just misremember. So we could actually unlock him as well. I mean, he'd be low star, but it would at least give us another insta-kill. I have been getting shards for Traya, like quietly in the background. So we have her at 30 out of 100. So we'll be able to build Traya someday. Savage, we've got shards for to start. But like a lot of accounts, I mean, if you're new to the game, if you're just playing a year like the Lex Talionis project, you're going to have tons of stuff like that. There's plenty of stuff that you could be working on, but you can't work on everything. So you're kind of stuck making a choice where to focus. We can get Crescent into gear 12 here. Lock down some of his relic pieces here and see where we need to farm. More of those, always more of those. Are those available? Yes, take that, nice. Okay. Are these available? No. Look, we've got 900 credits in the new system. I've bought one Omicron material already. Why not? So as we store up credits, I was hoping I could grab these 2 Omicrons before the shop refreshed, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get there. My progress along this track has been really slow. I've been getting about 1 tick per day. If that's the case, we're only going to clear 28 out of 50 on this free-to-play account. So we're going to miss out on quite a lot of good stuff. But I can't figure out other ways to get more of this. I'm very limited so far on what I can do in these galactic challenges. I'm kind of stuck. I haven't worked on this galactic challenge yet, but I don't have Tuskens in the account. I don't have an episode pass. I can't do momentum. So just being able to complete this does nothing for me. And I only have a 3-star Huyang. So we'll get like 2 levels of this marquee, and that's it. Maybe I can do like something like this with Tuskens. Let's take a look and see if if I can unlock Tuskens and get a Tusken team in here. We have 1 Tusken. So in my collection, if I worked on the Tuskens that I have for the account, yeah, I can't even unlock a full Tusken team. Just don't have them. I wasn't around for the Marquise, so I didn't get those characters. I don't have the other Tuskens unlocked. So, yeah, there's nothing I can do for this Galactic Challenge. I'll get like 3 ticks in the box. So unless you're spending somewhere, I mean, you have to build Huyang. I think as a free-to-play player, you have to get these characters to 4 stars at least, unlock the extra shards, and be able to do that every day for the extra shards, maybe even finish out at 5 stars. Because there's so much progress on this path that's gated behind completing the things with a certain amount of Huyang shards. So if we look at the episode quests, Requires episode pass. Oh wow, without the episode pass, you don't even see the ones that are based on his shards? Oh wow. So all of that doesn't even matter. Complete 7 quests. So this is going to be like a node on its own. Complete 7 quests. So let's say that these quests that are going to reveal are all quests that I can do. So we'll be able to do all 7 of these, right? We've done the first 3. We'll do the mods as soon as we do mods on Monday. So let's say we do all 7 of these. That means we'll also unlock 8,000. So that means in 7 days, I'm going to get 9. Because we've gotten 4, but we're close to 5. So we'll get, like, let's say to 6 on day 5, 7 on day 6, and then we're going to go 8, and then get the extra 8,000 and go to 9. So we'll get 9 per week, 4 weeks, we'll end up at 36. With our participation, with the level of participation that this particular account can get in the challenges. So yeah, we'll end up at 36 out of 50. That's all right. I mean, overall, if I look at it, it's probably more than I was getting out of the Galactic challenges before. Because there was a lot of Galactic challenges that this account got very poor participation in for all the same reasons. I just don't have the teams. So we won't make it to 50. I don't even think this account's going to even come close to 50. So we'll miss out on this final reward. And quite a few of the big strikes. 36. So that'll be my goal for this account. We'll try to get to 36 by the end of it. Guild activities 556 out of 600. That's not even possible. How's that even possible? Oh, it already reset for the day. The guild resets earlier than my account reset on this account. So I've already gotten that for today's progress. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm not looking at it since my refresh yesterday. I'm looking at it since the guild refresh earlier today. Okay. Been doing the droid event with Tusken Leader, Hermit Yoda, C-3PO, Wat, or Mon Mothma. Do the droid event with a Tusken Leader, Hermit Yoda, C-3PO, Wat, Mon Mothma to get all damage and kills. Okay, so you're saying that you come in here and you do this and you don't have Tuskens, but you want to get the momentum. So you come in here with like a team where you put in the Tusken Leader. And again, I don't even have the Tusken Leader unlocked. He's not even close. So you'd put the Tusken Leader here, and then a bunch of support characters, and then just use the Tusken Leader to try to get all the damage and kills with Huyang. Interesting. So you do that, and then put in Mon Mothma, Hermit Yoda, C-3PO, just support characters. That's cool. That's a cool way to do things. But I've completed all the quests that I can complete, right? I don't have the pass. So I think if you don't have the pass, then a lot of that stuff just doesn't even show up. Right? Like there's... On my Loquitur account, I can see tons of stuff that says, you know, have 210 shards of Huyang and complete this quest. But without the pass unlocked, I don't even see those quests. And I've already completed all the droid kills. Interesting stuff. What would it take for me to unlock the Tusken Leader? If I were to try to get that just so I could try to get the momentum feed at like level 4 or something like that. If I was going to try really super hard. Chieftain. Double Gungan node. So we would get the Raider and the Chieftain. Chieftain, however you want to pronounce that. With the bonus event going on, it would go quick. We would have him pretty quickly, right? We're on the 100 cost refreshes, so we can't mess around with that right now. But so double drop, doubled for 7, 14, 28. Backtrack. 28, 56 divided by 7, 9. It's not right. Is it? I think I missed a double in there somewhere, because I just did a calculation that would say I would get 9 shards a day for 3 refreshes, but I think it would be 18. I think it would be 18. So it would take me 2 days. 2 days to unlock the Chieftain. And so yeah, I could easily unlock him within the cycle of the event. I'm not going to, but I could. I could. Interesting. Yeah, I made the mistake early on when this first came out. For some reason, I had the understanding that the episode track would be weekly or per marquee, and that the event itself would last for 4 weeks, but I thought this track was only for 2 weeks. So I was pretty frustrated with it. But it's going to be the same track for all 8 weeks, and they're going to introduce the second marquee's character's extra shards in a separate quest. So, okay, knowing that it's going to last for 4 weeks, it's going to be okay. This account will get more out of this new system for free. Even if I only make it to 36, I'm going to get more for free than I ever got from the Galactic Challenge system before. I don't care to pay to play on 2 accounts, so that's how it's going to be. Yeah, so I mean, for Lex's progress, I'm happy with it. And who knows, maybe they'll come out with some Galactic Challenges where I can do more stuff, do better. I wish that just simply completing it would give tickets. Because it would be nice to just be able to go in there and get, like, you know, one level 8 to 10 completion with a CLS team or some good team where I could complete it and get some credit for that at least. But having everyone based on something that I really can't do, I mean, it makes it look like there's stuff there that I can't get to. But we'll be fine. What do you recommend we buy from the episode shop every week? I don't know how to do the math, and I don't want to miss out on Omicrons. That's the starting point. I mean, I think for everybody who plays the game, you're going to purchase the Omicron materials every shop. From my point of view, what I'm going to do on Loquitur, I purchased the Omicron materials. I purchased the slicing materials. I'm always short of these Mark 1 amplifiers compared to the Mark 2 ones, so I'm going to buy those every time on the Loquitur account to try to balance things out. These thermal exchange units I'm always behind on, so I'm going to purchase those. So I'm going to make a few purchases here based on that. And then I'm going to put some in the bank. And when I get up to around, let's say, 15,000 in the bank, and that's just so that if something changes in the account and I feel like I need to go spend, then I'll have some in the bank. It's a personal thing. It's not that it's efficient to do that way. But I think long term, this shop becomes not so much about finding the most efficient purchases, but about breaking the bottlenecks in your account. I will always buy the Omicron materials because there aren't many places in the game you can do that. The next move, I'm always going to buy this bronzium wiring. 20 of them for $3,500 is a fair price. It's good. I don't mind that at all. I've calculated it out. Basically, I just never have enough bronzium wiring in the game. And if I can get 20 more bronzium wiring a week, I'm going to take it. Even if I calculated this out and it wasn't efficient, I would still click this button because I can't get them somewhere else. I'd have to pay crystals for them out of a shop. With the packs that are available, you could do it that way. I already work the shops, farm 7B for data pads. I do everything I can in the game to generate bronzium wiring, and I'm always behind on it. I'm always waiting on bronzium wiring. So I'm always going to click this button. That's like the boundary condition for this shop for me. 2 purchases of Omicron materials, 1 purchase of bronzium wiring, and then from there, slicing materials. If there's a really good 5-speed gold mod, I'll buy that too. For $400, that's super cheap. Basically, the currency in the shop looks like it mirrors some other shops. So if you go into, a lot of shops have stuff that costs, $400 for a purchase. So this is like $350 for a purchase, $400 for a purchase. This is, if you look at the bronzium wiring, it's basically $400 for a purchase, but instead of getting only 2, you get 20. So it's $3,500. This material is okay. I mean, if you wanted to pick up 2 here and there for this stuff, it's okay. I think these are not efficiently costed, but again, this shop is not going to be about buying what's most efficient because we can already get that stuff elsewhere in the game. This shop is going to be about just use your currency for the things that you don't have. You don't have enough Omicrons. If you tell me that you do have enough Omicrons, I don't know how. But every account in the world I feel like doesn't have enough Omicrons. You don't have enough bronzium wiring, or at least I don't. So those are the first purchases that I'm always going to make. And then I'm going to focus on slicing materials because I don't have enough of that either. So think of this shop as not a efficiency purchase, but a scarcity purchase. That's my complete thought on the story. I hope that helps somebody. Yeah. But it's fine. I mean, people are panicked about this. They're freaking out. They're calling it a paywall. Let me see if I can bring something else up real quick. Let's go back to this lightsaber screen. Remind you guys all to hit your lightsabers if you haven't already. I'm going to launch the Hearthstone game in the background. And I'll show you guys. It's somebody made a reference to Marvel Strike Force and said, oh my God, they copied Marvel Strike Force and this is a terrible system and look at this, they've got a pay-to-play thing and all that. And I'm telling you, it's in every game. It's in every game. Let's go take a look at Hearthstone, right? Here we go. I think it's in here. Event. Uh-oh, we're locked up. Nope. I just clicked on it. That was the rewards track. Here you go. Rewards track, free to play. Look at all this stuff down here on the bottom that I can get free to play. Look at all these check marks. I've played a few games in Hearthstone. So look, I've collected all these materials. And look what's up top. What do you think is up top? Get a tavern pass. Right? It's not just Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes copied it. This is every game. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes just took a long time to catch up to what everybody else has been doing for years. So It's nonsense, right? It's nonsense to make that comparison as a bad thing because everybody else has already been doing it. It's not new. It's not a mystery, funny. It's not a game. They're not gaming us for money. Games do that. They create a system where you can get some stuff for free and then you can pay to get more stuff. It's a way for them to make money. And like I said in my stream on Wednesday, no matter how you feel about this, you always have a choice. And if you feel like the game designers have created a game that you don't want to play, then just, don't play it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only place that it matters, the only thing that changes, is that in Grand Arena, players who spend will be able to develop their accounts a little bit faster than players who don't spend. And it'll be harder for some people to gain ground in Grand Arena. But we already know that Grand Arena is not their premier game mode. They don't really care about it. They haven't worked on it in 3 years. So that legitimately the only effect on the whole game is that people who pay for that pass will have some small incremental benefit in Grand Arena. It'll make a difference over 5 years, but not tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know. I guess for me, I'm still dissatisfied that they gated so much of the progress behind having a certain amount of shards. I think for people who buy the pass, making you buy the pass and then also limiting your progress behind character shards feels like a double dip to me. That feels a little excessive. I feel like if you buy the pass, you should get access to the chart. But on my local account, I'll make it to box 50. I'll make it all the way through in 4 weeks with no problem, even without accessing that stuff. It just doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to see all this reward gated behind shards. So, yeah. But I think overall, for free-to-play players, it's fine. You're getting all the stuff you used to get. Like I said, my Lex Talionis account, even at box 36, will get more. What do you think about the C-3PO Lightspeed bundle? I use Lightspeed bundles to buy characters that I don't want to gear up in the game. C-3PO Lightspeed bundle. C-3PO. This one? R2-D2 Lightspeed bundle. Luke's Allies Lightspeed bundle. This is a fantastic deal, right? This is a whole lot of stuff that you don't want to have to relic. Mon Mothma's relevant for journeys. These characters are all relevant for journeys. This is a lot of rebels for ships and things like that you might need. Getting Hermit Yoda without having to buy his shards is really good if you don't have him in your account already. So the price of these Lightspeed bundles is always the case that these Lightspeed bundles are ridiculously efficient. If you had 2 of these characters and you didn't have 3 of them, this cost for 3 fully reliced characters is fantastic. But it just saves time, right? At the end of the day, what you're doing is you're paying for time. And the amount of time that you're paying for is a lot. It's a lot of time that it would take to relic those characters. Further down. Oh, C-3PO Lightspeed bundle. It's Ewoks. $14 for Ewoks. So on one hand, what are the Ewoks going to do for you in the game? It's limited. Nisa isn't in here. If Nisa was in here, this would be a click without even thinking. But as it is, if you don't have Ewoks farmed and you want C-3PO, you just click this button and go and you don't even think about it, right? Because this for sure will get you C-3PO unlocked easily. Even with garbage mods, these relic characters, no problem. Paplu will tank, Wicked will do all the damage. So for $14, very much worth it. But for players like the Lex Talionis account, I already have Ewoks I've already unlocked C3PO. There's not a desire for me to want relic Ewoks. They're not really requirements for stuff in the game other than Nisa, and we don't get her. So to just take these Ewoks to relic, to have relic Ewoks, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it if you've already got C3PO unlocked. And that's just because I don't value having relic Ewoks. I suppose if you've already reliced Nisa for the purpose of unlocking Leia, then it might be good to grab the bundle, and then at least you'd have a full relic Ewok team to put Nisa on and make use of her. Okay, so if you have a relic Nisa, yes. If you haven't unlocked C3PO, yes. If you already have C3PO at 7 stars and you don't have Nisa relict, take it or leave it. Either way. But in terms of the value of clicking the button and paying the price, the value in terms of efficiency, there's nothing else in the game that compares to it. Buying that many relic Ewoks for that low of a price is always going to be an incredibly efficient value. It's just a judgment of whether or not you want those characters in your account and whether or not you can afford the $14. But Lightspeed bundles are massively efficient. They're off the charts in terms of efficiency. Any of them. You never have to worry about it. If you click the button and you make the purchase and you think to yourself, I wonder if that was worth it, don't even think that. It's always worth it. The amount of money that you pay is, in terms of the amount of time that you buy, is insane. It's massive. You need 2 Ewoks for Leia? Okay, fair enough. You need 2 Ewoks for Leia. But you don't get Nisa, right? You don't get Nisa out of the bundle. The other one that you need for Leia is Wicket. Is that right? Wicket Smat. If you guys have all of these, yeah, it's Wicket. Wicket to Relic 3. And I'm pretty sure Wicket Relic 3 was in that bundle, right? We saw him. We saw Wicket Relic 3. Yeah, there he is. What? Chief Chirpa? That's Wicket. Yeah. So Wicket's in there. I guess that's another motivation if you need him for Leia. Or you plan to build Leia ever. It's, $14 to avoid having to work on that character, and you get a full Relic Ewok team to put Nisa on. So yeah, if you're anywhere near Leia or you're doing Leia, that's another really strong motivation to click yes. Again, I mean, for the Lex Talionis account, I'm not going to buy it. For the Loquitur account, I don't think I'm going to buy it. I've got a Relic Nisa. I've built Leia. But I don't really want the rest of the Relic Ewoks. So to me, it's just like, it's not that it's not worth it. I just don't value it. So I'm not going to click the button. Same thing with the Geos. When the Geo pack came out, I didn't buy it on the Loquitur account because even though it's a good value, I don't care if I have Relic Geos or not. So if I was a completist and wanted all those things at Relic, I surely would have bought that pack. But I just didn't value it for the money. So, yeah, hope that makes sense. Wicket and Chirpa are requirements for Leia? Chirpa's a requirement? I don't remember that. I don't remember that being the case. Man. So we looked at this. It's got Nisa and Wicket. Oh, Chief Chirpa is down here. There he is. Yep. Yeah, so definitely buy the pack if Leia's on the menu. Yeah, and I mean, if Lex Talionis was an account that was spending money, I would, man, a year of progress with the account that I've got here. Look at this. We've got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 relics in the account. 21 relics in the account with a year and 3 months or so played. I could go in here today, spend $100, and have 3 times the amount of relics that I currently have. Right? 5, 10, 13, 18, 24. So with these purchases, 15, 20, basically $85. So for $85, we could add 18 relics. I would double the amount of relics in the account for less than $100. So if it took me a year to build 21 relics, and I can buy 18 for $100, $85. I guess I got 22 relics because C-3PO is up here. But I basically buy a year of game time free to play for $85. That, I mean, the value of that in terms of time, it's insanity. It's crazy. The amount of bronzium wiring that you save, the amount of signal data that you don't have to farm. Yeah, Lightspeed bundles are the way to play the game if you're willing to spend a little bit of money. Basically, if you're building an account and you're willing to, and you have the money to spend, you click yes on every Lightspeed bundle until your account is caught up. The only thing that worries me is that CG did a great job of making the Jedi and Night Sister bundles valuable with the Raid and Great Mother releases. But like you said, Geos didn't matter. Yeah, so it's always a value judgment. I mean, it depends on what you want in your account. But again, it's the way that if you're new to the game and you're like, oh my god, I'm never going to catch up with these big guys at the end of the game, you can just purchase these Lightspeed bundles. If you purchase all the Lightspeed bundles, though, it does have some side effects. Number one, your mods will stink compared to your Galactic Power because you'll just be very, very far behind on mods, which is fine. You still have the relic characters. You'll be behind on Zetas, but most people are behind on Zetas for their account anyway, and you'll struggle with Omicrons. But okay, you'd be in the same position without the characters, and instead you're struggling with those things, but you have relic characters. So it's just how I think the game is played in 2025. You build your first big capital ship, you buy all the Lightspeed bundles, and you see where that takes you. You know? And you work on new stuff as soon as your account's stabilized, because the old stuff may come out in a Lightspeed bundle any day. Right? If you were doing the Leia journey or doing Jedi Knight Luke on an account where you were willing to spend and you were relicking a bunch of these characters, imagine that you were working on unlocking Jedi Knight Luke and you'd spent a bunch on Hermit Yoda and you got all these characters put together, and then they come out with this bundle and they're like, yo, all that stuff you're working on, you just have it for free now. For $30 you could have had all that stuff, and it just feels like a lot of wasted time in the account. So that's why, going forward, you want to build a Galactic Legend. Like, you have to struggle through your first Galactic Legend to stabilize your account. But once you've done that, you just work on the new stuff. Whatever's the new stuff coming out, Galactic Legend Ahsoka, Bo-Katan is not new. I mean, most people wouldn't consider that stuff new now. But for free-to-play players, it's still relatively new because a lot of that stuff is still on single shard drop, and it hasn't been around long enough for those shards to double. So for a free-to-play player, basically anything that's not double shard drops is new content. But that's what you do. You build a big ship, you stabilize your account, you work on new content. All right, guys, well, I'm going to wrap it up there for the day. Interesting Grand Arena. monstrously talented opponent against the Loquitur account. That's awesome. That's great for him. I love it. And we'll try to do better in tomorrow's fight. Okay, thank you all for watching. Please remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing these live streams. If you want to come hang out and have philosophical conversations like we did at the start of this, those things are always fun for me. So I appreciate when people prompt me or ask questions that can make it fun for me to share my ideas with the rest of the community. Also, I'm trying to get a role-playing game channel started up, Dungeons & Dragons stuff. So anybody who's kind enough to like me and go down and click that link and give that video a little bit of watch time and a like or a subscribe to that channel, I really would appreciate that. It does help me a lot as a person. So if you want to help me out just as a dude, giving that about a minute of watch time and a like would help me out a lot. I'd appreciate it if you could do that. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next Holocron.